Now, if you watch my other video on the basics of the Reminders app, you saw how simple it is to use for a basic to-do list, but it can do a lot more. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the more advanced features, such as how we can add tags, we can create smart lists, we can create reminders based on location. Let's take a look at some of these more advanced features with the Reminders app on the iPhone. Now, if you find this video helpful, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, let's take a look at some of the more advanced features with the Reminders app on the iPhone. Let's go over to my iPhone. Now, as I mentioned in this video here, we're going to be looking at some of the more advanced features, but let's first take a quick review of the Reminders app. So I just tap on the Reminders app. And then from here, what we're looking at, this is what I would call the home screen, the Reminders home screen. What we're looking at is our different categories. I can see what reminders are due today, which ones are scheduled, which ones are flagged. And then I can also see all of my different lists. These are the lists that I create. Take a look at the previous video to learn more about these different lists. If you want to add a list, you just tap on Add List. If you want to add a reminder, you tap on Add Reminder. And then when you add a reminder, what you're able to do is switch it to a different list, and then you can easily add a due date there. So that's the basics of creating a reminders list. Again, I have a separate video on that. But now let's take a look at some of the more advanced features, such as how we can go and add tags in this area here, or how we can go and hide these different layout items, and how we can add sections to these lists. This can come in handy when you want to organize your reminders within a list. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to step it up just a little bit here, and we're going to talk about the different details that we can add to our reminder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to errands here. And I want to look at the details for rotate tires. So what I do is I tap on it, and then we go over here to the eye. When I tap on the eye, I can see all of the different options that I have. So let's just quickly go through this. Up at the top, I can easily change the name just by tapping on that. I also have notes and URL. You want to add any notes in there? Maybe you need to tell them something when you rotate the tires, or you want to add the URL for the website of the place where you change your tires. I personally go to Discount Tire, so I could put in the URL for Discount Tire if I wanted to. And then below that, we have our date and time. So you're going to see that date is selected because it says tomorrow. And also what I'm able to do is set a time. So let's say this is at 2 p.m. Well, when I tap on the little slider for time, I can go and put 2 p.m. in there. So now in addition to being tomorrow, it's also going to be at 2 p.m. Now if I want to have an early reminder, I can do that as well. With an early reminder, it'll remind me before that appointment. So now I just tap on early reminder, and I want this to remind me an hour before so I can get ready, get my shoes on, things like that. So now we can see we have an early reminder. Another thing we can do is we can repeat this. So let's say I want to do this every 3 months. We just tap on repeat, and then from here I can set if I want it to be hourly, daily, weekends, weekly, or even every 3 months. I just tap on that, and that'll remind me every 3 months. Also, what you can do with this repeat, I'm going to go and tap on that again. Also, what we can do is we can create a custom repeat. So I just tap on this, and let's just say I wanted to do this every 3 months, but I want to do it on the last Friday of the month. I don't know, for some odd reason, let's just go with that. So what I do is I just tap on the, I'm not going to tap on any dates, I just tap on the, and now I can go and say on the last Friday of every month. And when I tap on repeat here, what it's going to do is it's going to remind me every 3 months on the last Friday. And then if we want to end the repeat, we can do that as well. So we can set an end date for that repeat. I'm just going to go back and turn this off. So I tap on never, and now it's not going to repeat. So that's how we can easily set a reminder to repeat as well. I want to add tags. This is another way of categorization. So with tags, what we're able to do is find all of the reminders with a specific tag. So let's just keep this simple, but I'm going to add car in here because this relates to my car, right? So I just go in here and type in a new tag, and we'll call car. And now we have that tag there. We'll come back to how we can see how these tags can help us categorize in a little bit. Another thing I can do is I can have it remind me at a location when I arrive, when I get into the car. Let's go ahead and turn that on, and you're going to see that I have the option. Let's scroll up here a little bit. I have the option to set it to when I get in the car, when I get out of the car. The car does have to be connected to your phone via Bluetooth. That's how it knows when you're getting in and out of the car. I can also swipe over and make a custom location. So what I could do is tap on the 3 dots for custom, type in the address or the place. This is going to be Discount Tire. So just type it in here. Search. This is a Discount Tire that I use. I tap on that. And now when I arrive at Discount Tire, what this will do is this will remind me to change the tires. So let's just say I had to tell them something. So I want to have a reminder in here. I can go and add a note in here saying that, can you please check this out? And this will remind me when I get to Discount Tire. So we can have reminders based on location as well. And then we also have when messaging. If I wanted to have it remind me when I message a specific person, I could do that as well. If I want to flag this, you don't have to use any of these. As you saw, we can just keep up with just using the basic reminders app. But if you did want to use flag, you could flag this. You can also set a priority. And then, of course, you can go and change the list. If you want to add subtasks, maybe there's more things that you need to associate with this. When you tap on this, what you're able to do is add more items. So check tire pressure. Just type it in here. We're going to add a reminder. Check tread. And then when I tap on details here, that is going to be associated with that reminder. You'll see that shortly. The last thing I can do is I can add an image. So if I wanted to take a picture of my tire, maybe there's something on that tire and I wanted to take a picture of it, I could add it to this. And then when I look at that reminder, I'd be able to show them that picture. So those are all the different options that we have there. Now I've added a few of the different options here. So when I go to done here, what it's going to do is it's going to apply those changes. And then you're going to see that, first of all, it is flagged. It's set for tomorrow, 2 p.m. It has the tag car. That's what that little number sign is there. And it's going to remind me when I arrive at Discount Tire. In addition to that, if we look, remember I added those subtasks? See how they're slightly indented? I can also say, okay, did you check the tire pressure? Yes, we did. Okay, I can mark that off. Did you check the tread? Oh, yes, we did. Okay, I could tap on that and mark that off as well. And then when it's done, I just tap on rotate tires here, and it'll mark it as done. We're not going to mark it as done because I want to show you a few other things with this. So those are some of the more advanced features, but as you can see, it's still pretty simple to use. Let's take a closer look at tags here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another reminder, and this one's going to be under personal. So I'm going to tap on personal. I go and add a reminder. And what I want to do is vacuum the car. So I type in here vacuum car. And then, of course, I can tap on the eye to pull up the entire sheet and start adding some of the details. But if we look here, you're going to see that I also can add details right down here above the keyboard. So let's go through these. Date. I want to vacuum the car tomorrow. So I tap on the date, and then I just say tomorrow. I want to add a location. Tap on the location here, and I would say when I arrive home. It'll remind me to vacuum the car next time I go on a little errand. I want to add a tag. Well, this is for my car, right? I have that tag car that I added earlier. I tap on the tag, and you're going to see car. If I want to flag it, I can flag it. And then if I want to add an image, I can add an image. So I don't have to go to the little I here. I can get to a lot of the options just by going above the keyboard here. All right, so I've added that tag. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go to Done here. Remember, we're going to go to my lists here. Remember, I have one to-do or one reminder in my personal for my car. This is vacuum the car. And I have another one in my errands where I need to rotate the tire. Both of them are associated with my car. I want to see both of those reminders. Well, being that they're both tagged as car, when we go down to the bottom, because I've added some tags, you're going to see I have my tags here. So now all I need to do to see all of my reminders associated with the car, I tap on car here, and when I do, I can see both of my reminders. One of them here is in my errands, and the other one here is in personal. But I can see both of them because I'm looking at the tag car. So tags are just another way of categorizing your reminders. We can use lists, we can use tags, we can use both, as you can see here. And when we use both, it just kind of gives us a little bit more flexibility. I can look at them by lists, or what I can do is look at my reminders by tag. Now we have another way of categorizing our reminders. We can create smart lists. So right now, these lists are pretty simple. I create a reminder, I put it in that list. I have to physically put it in that list. Well, when you create a smart tag, when you create a smart list, it'll put it in there automatically for you. A good example of that is when we look at today, I didn't put that in today. I added a date, and then it added it in there automatically. When I flagged that one reminder, I did not put that reminder in this category here. It put it in there automatically. So these are smart lists, and we can create our own. So let's say I wanted to create a smart list that showed me all of my reminders that are flagged and that are due today. So I want both of those in there. Maybe what I'd like to do is also include all the reminders for my car. So how do we do that? Well, we go over here to add lists, just like before. But this time, what we need to do is we need to tap on standard. And when we tap on that, we're going to have a few options here. The one that we're going to look at here is Smart List. So I tap on it, and now I go and name it. So we're going to call this Flagged and Today. I want to include both of those. The next thing that we have to do is we have to filter. We have to filter the reminders. Which reminders do I want to have in here? So I tap on that. You're going to see all of the filters. So I can filter by tags, date, time, location, also flag, priority, and lists. So let's go with flag first. So we need to include reminders that are flagged. Tap on it, and I just say they're flagged. So now it's going to include all of the reminders that are flagged. The next thing I want to do is I want to include all the reminders that are due today. So now I just go to today or date, and you can see we have a lot of options here. We're going to go with relative. Relative is like today, tomorrow. So I tap on relative, and you're going to see in the next one day. That's what I want. I can also include past reminders in there. We're just going to leave it as it is. And then I mentioned tags. Let's go and include the car. So it's going to include all of the reminders that have the tag car. So I tap on that, selected tag, and then I tap on car. I tap on done, and I've created that smart list. So this smart list now is going to be flagged, and today, actually, it's going to be flagged today and car. We'll just be real descriptive here, right? I can go and change the color and the name just like before. Now I just tap on done, and I'm going to have a new smart list here, And we can see it already added one in there. I did not add that. Why did it add that one in there? Well, because it's flagged. It's also due today. And it has the tag car. So it has to match all three of those filters. So that's why it's only showing this one. So when I go back and take a look at my other one here, vacuum car, that one is due tomorrow. That's why it is not showing. It is also not flagged. So let's go ahead and do that. So I tap on it, and what I'm going to do is flag it. We're just use that shortcut there, and I'm going to say today. Now, when we go back to that smart list, you can see that it has both of them in there. I did not add that in there. So what you'd be able to do really is create a number of different lists in here, and they can be based on specific criteria. You want to find all your past due reminders? You can do that. You want to find all your past due reminders that are flagged? You can create a smart list for that. You want to find all of your past due reminders in a specific list? You could create a smart list for that, and it'll show up in this area here. We can also put them into different folders. So in order to do that, what we do is we just drag one on top of another. So let's say I wanted to put errands with my personal. I just drag it on top of the other one here. You're going to see that it turns a little bit gray. And when I do, it creates a folder. So these are my reminders. I'm just going to name the folder reminders. And now we can see we have reminders. Let's go and add this one to it too. We can add smart lists to it. So I just drag it up, and we have that one in there. Now, the nice thing about putting them into folders is I can close this so it's not cluttering up. And when I go and tap on reminders here, watch what it does. With folders, what it does is, let's go ahead and tap on reminders here. It groups them so I can see all of my flagged today and car. Here I can see all of my personal. And then here I can see all of my errands. Now with this, you're going to see that I do have some duplicates. And that's just because the smart list is also showing the same thing. So vacuum car is also up here. That's because this is a smart list and it just includes it. So just so you know, when you include smart lists with regular lists, you may have that. If you don't want that, what you can do is you can just take that out. So I just drag it out. And now, drag it out a little bit further there. There we go. There we go. Drag it out there a little bit further there. We'll put it on top here. There we go. And now, when I tap on reminders, I can see my two reminders. I go back. I can tap on this to see my tagged. You can also move these up to the top here. That's called pinning. So if I wanted to move this flagged up there, I just long press on it, and then you're going to see pin. Tap on it, and now you're going to see that is up there. And if I want to remove it, I just long press on it again, tap on unpin, and now it is back. We can hide any one of these. Maybe you don't want to use flagged here, so you just long press on it, and then you can hide it. And now that is no longer there. I want to hide a sign. This is for shared lists. Long press on it. I don't have any shared lists, so let's just go ahead and hide it. And now that is no longer there. Gives you a little bit more room for your reminders here. To show them again, you just tap on the three dots, and then you can edit the lists, and you can go and add them back in. You can also reorder them. So that's how you can change the layout and customize it to fit your reminders. We have another way of organizing or categorizing our reminders, and that is within a list itself. What we can do is we can create sections. So let's go over here to personal. I have two reminders in there. Let's go add one more. What I want to do is I want to say vacuum the house. And we will go house. So now I have that in there. Now what I would like to do is I would like to have these outside. So this is outside work. And then this one is inside. So I need to add an outside section and an inside section. To do that, what we do is we just go up to the three dots here, and then you're going to see new section. So I just go and add a new section. You're going to see it says new section, so we're just going to go outside. I tap on done, and I've added that section. Now we need to add an inside section. So again, I go up to the three dots, and we go over to manage sections. Now that I have a section, we need to manage it, and I can go and add a new section. And this one is inside. Tap on done. So now I have those two sections. How do I get these into those two sections? Drag and drop. So I just take mow the lawn, that is outside. I put it under outside. Vacuum car, that is outside. And then vacuum house is inside. So now we can see those are categorized. I just want to view my outside work. I can easily close this, and I'm looking at my outside work here. When we're looking at them in different sections, we do have another view. Told you we have some more advanced options here. I can go to the three dots, and then with sections, I can view them as columns. So I tap on that, and now here's my outside. I swipe over. Here's my inside. If I had more sections, they would be in there. And again, I can drag and drop. Whoops, I want to add. That's how you can easily add. You just tap in there. But if I wanted to move vacuum house to the other one, I can just drag it over. You're going to see that's dragging over, and it'll add it over there. We're just going to leave it at inside. But you can drag and drop those into the different sections. To go back to the list, you just tap on the three dots, and you view it as a list. Now, another thing that we can do is we can create templates. Why would we want to create a template? Well, a perfect example of this is a packing list. So let's go and add a packing list. We're just going to go ahead and add a new list, just a basic list. This isn't going to be a smart list. So I just go to Add List. I type in here packing list. We have to create the list first, and we're just going to keep it as a standard one here. It's just a standard list. We're not going to change any colors or anything like that. And there's my list. Let's add a few items. So I need my camera. I need coat. I need hiking shoes. So you just go and add your packing list in there. We're just going to add those three items. I have it in there. So now I'm going on a trip. I just go to packing list, mark off what I have as I pack them, and then when I am done, I just go back and I'm all packed. Well, I'm not going on another trip for a while. I'd like to get rid of this list. Well, to get rid of a list, we just drag it to the left, and when we do, we're able to delete that. But I don't want to do that, because then when I go on another trip, wouldn't it be great to reuse this? Well, this is where templates come into play. What we can do is we can save this as a template. When we save it as a template, we're able to delete it and then add it from that template later on. So how do we create a template out of this? We open it up. We go to the three dots, and you're going to see Save as Template. I tap on that. We have my packing list. I want to include my completed reminders. If I don't do that, it's not going to include those 3 reminders that I added in there. So I tap on that, and now I hit Save. And now that is saved. So how does this work? Well, first of all, I'm not going on a trip, so let's go and delete that. It's saved as a template. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now I'm going on another trip. I need that packing list back. How do I do that? 3 dots. Furthermore, templates. And under templates, packing list. I just tap on that. I can change the name. If I'm going on a trip to California, I could put California in there. And then once I do that, I just tap on Create. We're just going to leave it the same. And look what I have, my packing list. And in that packing list are my 3 lists, or my 3 reminders. I want to edit, so let's go ahead and delete this. I'd like to edit that packing list. I go back up here to the templates, and then I tap on the I, And when I tap on the eye, what I'm able to do is edit this. So now what I'm able to do is add more items to this, and I'm adding it to the template. So when I go and create another list from that template, it'll be in there. So let's just go and add one more item in here. This is my iPad. Tap on done. And now I want to create a new list. So I'm in my templates here. So now all I need to do is tap on packing list, tap on create. We've seen that. And when I go here, you're going to see that I have the iPad in there. So we can even modify our templates. And again, when I'm done with it, I just delete it. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how you can share a list. It's pretty simple. When you long press on a list, so I'm just going to long press on personal. This has to be a standard list. You're going to see the option to share the list. I tap on that, and then I invite who I want to share. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go with my wife, Beth, here. Tap on that, and once it completes it here, I just tap on the send. I could add a note in there, but when I tap on the send, she's going to get a message in her messages, and then what's going to happen is she's going to see this personal in her reminders. This only works with people that have Apple devices. So now what she's going to be able to do is add items to that list. She's going to be able to mark items off of that list, and I'm going to be able to add items, and she'll be able to see that. So basically, it's a shared list. That's how easy it is to share a list. If you want to manage it, you can also do that. So I long press on it, and being that it's a shared list, you're going to see Manage. I tap on that, and now what I'm able to do is share it with more people. I can also set it to notify me when she adds a reminder or when she completes something. And then I also have different share options. Do I want Beth to be able to add more people? If I want to have more control, I would set it to only I can add more people. And then if you want to stop sharing, you just tap on Stop Sharing. Once you have a shared list, remember how we had, let's go up to the three dots here, and we're going to change our lists. We're going to change our home screen here. Remember how I mentioned we have assigned to me? When you have a shared list, what you're able to do is assign people reminders. So when I go over to this personal shared list, and let's say that Beth is going to vacuum the car, when I long press on it, this is the easiest way to get to all those different controls or options, you're going to see that we have the option to assign it to someone. And what you're able to do is assign it to anyone that you're sharing that list with. So I tap on that, and I'm going to go with me. Beth isn't showing up yet because she hasn't accepted it. You do have to accept it, but you'll get the idea. It's pretty simple. Now that is assigned to me. So when I go to assigned here, we can see we have that reminder in there. So that's how easy it is to share a list. There's one shared list that is actually kind of nice. So I created a separate video on that, and that is the grocery list. My wife and I use that all the time. What we're basically able to do is share a grocery list. And when you create a grocery list, it will actually add the sections to that reminder. Remember those sections I had outside and inside? When you go and add eggs, it'll add it to the dairy section. You go and add meat, it'll add it to the meat section. You go and add oranges, it'll add it to the produce section, all automatic. So I created a separate video on how the grocery list works because that's a pretty powerful tool. And it combines a lot of these different things that we have with the Reminders app. So that's how we use the Reminders app on the iPhone. We can use it on a most simplistic form where we just have a single list. We just go and add a reminder, and then we add our scheduled dates to it. Or what we can do is we can start playing around with it and add more options to it. We can have it remind us when we get into the car, as long as you have that Bluetooth connection or CarPlay. You can have it remind you when you get to a location. You can also add tags. And then when you add tags, you're able to see all of the reminders, even if they're in separate lists. And of course, we can also create smart lists. So we can use the Reminders app on a very basic level, which is still pretty powerful, or what we're able to do is use some of the more advanced features. What I would recommend doing is just starting out small, start out on the basic level, play around maybe the location, just see how all that works, and just start slowly adding some of these different features to it as you get more comfortable with it. So that's how we work with the Reminders app on the iPhone. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You can subscribe to my channel. You can share it with your friends and family. You may also want to check out danstutorials.com. Not only do I have more videos, but I also have an AI assistant modeled after an Apple Genius, and I host classes and webinars on a regular basis. So how can you help support my efforts in creating these videos? It is a membership-based site. When you become a member, what I'll do for you is take out all of the ads of the videos. You have access to that AI assistant modeled after an Apple Genius, and you have access to my classes and webinars. In addition to that, you're also helping support a small business. It is just me. I'm not part of some large organization. So when you become a member, you are directly supporting my efforts in creating these videos. Check out danstutorials.com for more information, and thanks for watching.